It is week number 14 of the high school football season, and tonight, your Chardon Hilltoppers made the trek down south to Gilchrist Field at Portage Community Bank Stadium in Ravenna to take on the Fighting Irish of Youngstown Ursuline. It is week number 4 of the Ohio High School Athletic Association High School Football Playoffs, the Division III Region 9 Regional Finals, otherwise known as the State Quarterfinals. How you doing, everyone? Matt Jaworski and Ryan Radke with you as we get you set for this one. And Ryan, Hilltoppers simply had a dominant game against Aurora last week, and now they're facing a very explosive team in the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, no, we've been talking about it for weeks now. Since that 3-3 start to the season, the Hilltoppers have been peaking at the right time. They put together one of their best all-around games of the season last week against Aurora, put the game away before halftime, and then were able to get to the finish in the second half, and now this is 5 straight years in the regional finals, Matt. I hope the fans understand what an impressive accomplishment that is. This doesn't just happen. This is a very impressive run for the Hilltoppers.
It's extremely impressive for a public school to be putting up these kinds of statistics. You have to give credit to the coaches, to the players, to the parents as well for the foundation for the program that has been built here at Chardon over the years, and how these students and how these coaches have responded to get them in that position. Tonight, though, they face a very explosive Fighting Irish offense, one that has the ability to both pass and throw for some big games and for big yardage and touchdowns as well.
Well, as you would expect, this is the regional finals. It's going to be a test and a challenge for the defense. And this Hilltopper defense is ready to rise up to that challenge and go up there tonight. And they're going to have to get some stops against a very impressive offense that Ursuline's going to be rolling out there tonight.
This game could very well come down to the winners, the defense that makes the most stops tonight.
Yeah, absolutely true. On the other side for Ursuline, you look at they face teams that tend to be more pass heavy. They haven't faced the team that's run first like Chardon, and their defensive numbers against the run don't look overly impressive, so it's going to be a matchup for them as well defensively to try to stop this very different looking offense to one they're used to seeing.
Absolutely. Only time will tell. And speaking of time, it's time for us to pause and take a break here as we come back with more on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, Burr Funeral Home, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, The Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, PRP and Associates, Roniak Paving, Sopchak Natural Health and Wellness Center, and Fit for Life Physical Therapy, TJ Smith Excavating, Remax Tradition, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, Residence Artists, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, and the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Special thanks for supporting the Gridiron Club goes to the Lodge at Bass Lake, We Were Athletes, Chardon Home Depot. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
And here come your Chardon Hilltoppers. Welcome back, everyone. GTV, as we are getting set for the Division III Region 9 Regional Finals here at Portage Community Bank Stadium in Ravenna. Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you. Hilltoppers won the coin toss. They elected to defer in this one, so they will be kicking off to start the game. And Ryan, you look at this one, the Hilltoppers come in having some significant experience in these big games.
Yeah, we've talked about it. This has been quite a streak over these past 5 years. You look at this senior class, they're just used to being in this game one way or the other. They're always here, but this is going to be, each year it's a unique challenge, and Ursuline brings all kinds of their own challenges to the table. Again, as we said, a very explosive offense that a very good Hilltopper defense is going to have to look to try to shut down.
Well, for the Hilltoppers, you look at what they've done defensively throughout this year, and it has been impressive. There have been games where, frankly, the other team's offense, you just felt like it did not show up as the games went on. You go back to that Willoughby South game, for instance, where they held South to negative 10 yards. You look at last week when they limited a good Aurora team to 119 yards of offense. They held CVCA to 4 yards. It's stuff you don't normally see high school football defenses do.
No, and Aurora had that really late fourth quarter drive in that game that accounted for a lot of those yards. It was a really impressive performance last week.
Toppers will kick it off, ball taken near the 5, straight ahead 20, 25, and into a pack of Hilltoppers. The Irish will take over just past the 30-yard line, and out comes Jack Erickson and company. Erickson, the senior quarterback, 6'1", 185, has thrown for about 220 yards, 2,200 yards of this season, and 22 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's a very good quarterback. He can sling it. They like to move the ball through the air. A little different than some of the teams the Hilltoppers have seen this postseason at this point.
They will go with an empty backfield, and the QB looking to run it, makes a move, gets near the line of scrimmage, and the line going to push him forward near the 35-yard line for a short gain.
That was a good push by the Ursuline offensive line getting behind that. Chardon initially had it stopped for a gain of about 1, but it turns into a 3-yard gain.
Expect to see this all night. The Irish getting to the line quickly and then trying to make something happen. Receiver far side, 3 near side. Now a flag comes out. Well, that'll give us a chance. How about that? Sideline warning, Ursuline.
I was going to say, they've run one play, and they already have the sideline warning. Okay.
Hilltoppers starting defense tonight for you folks. Up front, it's Kyle Kisley, Caleb Schutzman, and Maddox Ciancebello. They're going to hand the ball off. Nothing going there.
Yeah, big push by that defensive front. Saw all kinds of guys in there, including Alexander Ash. Kyle Kisley got in there as well.
Well, that was senior Christian Lynch who got the handoff. A young man who's rushed for about 1,500 yards on the season, has scored a bunch of touchdowns. Pass to the right side. No, incomplete, just a bit high.
Yeah, trying to get that ball in there down the far sideline, in coverage back there. The Hilltoppers were able to make the good play and prevent the completion.
Well, so quickly we didn't even really get to the Hilltoppers defense, but
it's going to be hard tonight. Ursuline's no huddle.
Keep this in mind, folks. Hilltoppers suffered a major blow yesterday at the very last play of practice. Austin Lazinski was lost for this game, maybe longer, depending on how things play out, with an undisclosed injury, non-contact related. Punt, bit of a line drive kick. The Toppers will watch it bounce, and it's going to roll to a stop near the 30 on this blue field. Kind of reminiscent, if I'm not mistaken, of what Boise State has.
Yes, reminiscent of that. It's blue turf. We were down there, though. It was a slick turf tonight. That's what stuck out when we were down on the field pregame tonight, Matt. Slick turf, slick playing surface for these two teams.
Well, indeed it is. It just, you didn't have the field that it drained as well as Chardon Memorial. Mm-hmm. Of course, a lot of work has been done to that field on Chardon Memorial. You know, you give credit to the school system, AD Doug Snyder, for keeping that field as top notch as they do. Will Francis going to fake the handoff and move the pile forward near the 34-yard line. Nice run by Francis to pick up about 4 or 5. Behind him, we're going to see a number of running backs tonight, 4 of them mainly. Vinny Columbi, A.J. Bruce, Drago Vuyaclia, and Caleb Hewitt. The boys up front, Tredell Graves, Colin Udath, Vince Baleto, Trevor Winters, and Logan Bryant. Zach Henneman, Derek Galanak, and Leo Columbi will be the main split ends in this contest tonight. When they go tight ends. The starter, Andrew Baggett, and when they go double, it'll be Charlie Brock coming in. Francis will hand it off. AJ trying to turn the corner. Gets near the 38-yard line before he goes out of bounds.
Well, Charlie Brock went out there along with Andrew Baggett. They set the edge. Nice blocking out there. Give A.J. Bruce a block to run around and get close to a first down.
Toppers will have it 3rd down and 1 from their own 39-yard line. And you look at these two offenses, such a contrasting style. You have the flash and dash of the Irish, if you will, and then you have the Hilltoppers that just want to take chunks of time off the clock and just do that ground and pound. Vinny Columbi up the middle, first down to around the 44-yard line.
He's the guy on short yardage. You give it to Vinny Columbi. They usually get Charlie Brock in there. I saw Brock on there blocking in front. That's what you're going for on short yardage. It picks up the first down. You move the chains.
Of course, you can't discount Vinny for busting off a big run like we saw last week against Aurora when he got through the linebacking core. Toppers 1st and 10 from the 44. Francis sends Bruce in motion, going to keep it himself and run up the middle. Francis running room. He's nearly gone. One man to beat. He couldn't do it, and Francis brought down near the 30-yard line.
Well, that was one, Matt, on the offensive line. I mean, that was a great job opening up that hole by the Hilltoppers offensive line, able to clear some space, get things open, and run everybody ahead. Nice job there. Looked like Vince Boletto, the center, really opened that hole. And there's nothing but room for Francis.
Will Francis, 5'9", 160. Plays a lot bigger than his stature for sure. He is very athletic, very smart, and very quick. May have been some movement. The question is which side came across.
Hilltoppers left early, so penalties were not a problem for the Hilltoppers last week. Oh, no, they got Ursuline on it. How about that? The Hilltoppers were walking backwards, Matt, and then the officials call the encroachment. So it goes, the call goes Chardon's way, and it's 1st and 5 now.
Toppers will take it. Makes it 1st and 5 from the 24-yard line. Francis puts Hewitt in motion. The give is to Caleb. Caleb looking to try to bounce outside, and he gets near the 22-yard line. So pickup of a couple yards there on 1st and short.
Yeah, hole opened up for him on the outside, but that was a nice defensive play by Luke Collar, a sophomore defensive back, coming into the backfield there and stopping. A hole had opened up for Hewitt, and if the D-back isn't there, Hewitt would have had a first down run. Still, pick up a couple, so it's 2nd and short.
Well, for Chardon, they have done a good job in the second half of the season. The give straight ahead, and that should be a first down for the Hilltoppers. Columbi, some hard work, but he picked it up. But they've done a good job capitalizing inside the red zone.
Yeah, they really have. When they've put a long drive together, they score more often than not. They've converted on 4th down a number of times to keep drives going. They're just hungry for the end zone, and they keep going.
Leo Columbi now going to come into the game as a split end, and when he enters the game, you have to think potential for a pass here because he has a good connection with Will Francis. Toppers, 2 receivers to the right. Francis barks out the call, going to keep it himself, and Francis runs toward the right between the tackles up near the 15-yard line, so pick up about 2 or so on 1st down.
Yeah, straight run there. You had 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left, so you had things a little bit more empty than usual in that backfield. And it's a 3-yard run for Will Francis, so 2nd and 7.
Ball's placed on the 14-yard line. It'll be 2nd down for Chardon.
Well, Will Francis on the year has rushed for about 1,500 yards, has 15 touchdowns. He has been one of the guys to make this offense move in the red zone. Speaking of move, the clock sitting at 7:12 and counting here. First quarter, no score. The give coming right side to Bruce. Cuts the corner. AJ moves ahead down inside the 10 and is very close to that first down marker.
Nice job there by Andrew Bruce. You saw them go on ahead and move the tight end Baggett over to that side of the formation. They give it to Bruce, sweeping that way, and big power run sets up first and goal here for the Hilltoppers.
So first and goal, Chardon, as they will have the ball from the 7. And now a lot more options open up for this Hilltopper wing tee. Another double tight end formation for Chardon. Columbian Bruce, the backs. They give it to AJ, who goes right side, and not much going on that run.
Yeah, Vinny Columbi was going through first, and AJ Bruce was following. Not a whole lot of room there for AJ. Second and goal at the 5 for the Toppers.
Now, you would love to come away with points here, but boy, if you have to say 6 or 3, you'd like to take 6 here.
For sure, yeah. You've had such a good drive to get things started. You want to set the tone for this game and put it in the end zone.
Hash marks near side. And the give is to Columbia in the end zone. Touchdown, Toppers!
Great work by the offensive line again. They open up the hole. Vinny Columbi finishes it up, runs right through. So the Hilltoppers come out, march down the field. Again, we mentioned it was an offense like Ursuline hasn't seen all year long. Hilltoppers march down the field, and they score a touchdown first.
Now Toppers, when they've got that wing tee going and you haven't seen it, it's so hard to defend. Sam Sosrich now out to attempt the PAT. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. It is underway, and it is good. So with 5:54 to go here in the first quarter, the Toppers take a 7-0 lead.
Well, tonight's special cablecast is funded by your cable subscriber franchise fees, and we'd like to again extend thanks to all the GTV funding communities, including those not funding tonight's contest, for their year-round support. They are Chardon Township, Middlefield Village, Munson Township, and partially funded by the City of Chardon. Thanks again for all your support and all our viewers for watching.
Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you here on GTV. It is the regional finals in Division III, Region 9, really throughout the state of Ohio tonight. Everybody's playing, as they have been throughout this postseason on Friday night. And Ryan, winner of this game gets a very special treat. They get to practice on Thanksgiving.
There's nothing like Thanksgiving practice because, man, there's not a lot of teams left practicing at that point in time, right? It's very special to get to practice on Thanksgiving, and yeah, nothing like it.
Well, this Chardon team, just by getting here, proves that they're one of the best and one of the top 8 teams in Division III. They would love to be in the top 4 and play next week. Of course, the winner of this one gets Toledo Central Catholic and Tiffin Columbian. Kickoff taken at the 6, ahead to the 10, 15, right side 20. A broken tackle out to the 35 and past the 40-yard line. Good return. That time it was Jaquise Liaison with the return.
And that's what you have to watch for. Lots of athletes, lots of good speed here for Ursuline. They could rip off those big plays in a hurry. That's a big play after a Chardon score. Ursuline gets to start out at their own 40-yard line after the nice return.
From the gun, they will hand it off, looking to go right side. Nothing doing again. The Hilltopper D-line saying no way.
Yeah.
Believe that was Joe Baylog, and it was the junior running back with the carry. Now, Baylog got a ton of touches last week because Christian Lynch didn't play, and Coach Reardon said that he was perfectly fine with what Baylog did, and they were actually prepared in case Lynch couldn't play tonight to go with Baylog, but has not been the case as we've seen Lynch in this game. Jack Erickson looking over to the sidelines will Fake the handoff, throws over the middle, ball's caught, and that will be a first down. DC Farrell with the catch across midfield.
Perfect quick slant there. You're going to run that route behind the blitzing linebackers, and he's going to be open in a soft spot. Quarterback, wide receiver connection right on time. It's enough for a first down. Move those chains.
Looking deep, ball is, boy, nearly caught. Adjustment made, but not quite there. Was looking for Farrell again.
Ball was just a little bit behind him. They had what they wanted, a nice pocket to throw in, and the receiver had made his move on the defensive back, and Farrell had gotten open out there, but pass was a little behind him. He couldn't quite adjust back. Would have been a touchdown if it was connected properly.
That'll bring him second down and 10. Erickson looking to throw right side. Ball's caught and spun out of bounds. First down inside the 40 for the Irish. CJ Liam Bruno with the catch.
Liam Bruno picks up the first down, turns back, waits for the ball. He's right there, steps out.
They go back to the ground. Baylog spun around and brought down near the line of scrimmage.
Alexander Ash gets in there on the stop. Nice job getting to the run. Hilltoppers have had the run bottled up. Ursuline has had success in that passing game, though, on this drive.
Jack Erickson from the gun will fake the handoff under pressure, avoids one, hit multiple times and dropped near the 49-yard line, and Caleb Schutzman in on that sack.
Caleb Schutzman gets in there. Beckett Dotson was back there on that sack as well. The Hilltoppers were just bringing pressure, and that was a drop back. You're going to fake the handoff. You can't take time in the backfield like that against this Hilltopper defensive front. They were back there in a hurry, and that play had no chance to develop for Ursuline.
Third down and about 20 from the 48. Erickson will drop back again. Under pressure, being chased by Kisley. Flushing out right side, tucks it, picks up a few yards, still on his feet across the 40, and Erickson brought down near the 35-yard line.
That was a good job by Erickson, because that play at first looked like it was going to be another loss, and he just kept running ahead. Austin Green eventually brings him down, but he sets up a 4th down and 9 in 4-down territory. Not a terrible spot that he put his team in after what it could have been.
Erickson from the gun, and Toppers jumped.
Yeah, we got encroachment against Chardon, so that's going to make it 4th down and 3. And these are the type of penalties you can't afford. You have a 4th down and 8, a chance to end this drive and get back out there, and now you're going to move Ursuline 5 yards closer.
Now this certainly opens up the options now for the Irish. 4th and about 3. 2 receivers on each side and Baylog in the backfield. Now, a timeout has been called. Dan Reardon going to call the timeout here.
Yeah, Ursuline's going to discuss the play they want to draw up here. See what their plan's going to be. They're definitely going for it. This is in the direction of the win. There's no way they're going to try like a 47-yarder, 48-yarder you wouldn't think. So they're going for it. It's just a matter of what play do they want to run. The situation kind of changed when they were brought up to 4th down and 3 after that encroachment by the Hilltoppers. So they just want to discuss what their best play is. What's worked on this drive for them is quick, short passes. You're not spending a lot of time in the backfield, a quick route. You're getting it open. You run a couple of slants, get 3 yards, get the ball out quickly. We'll see what they decide to run here.
Well, when you think about the plays, you also have to think about this when you're going up against this Hilltopper defenses. If they're bringing it, you got to get rid of that ball in a hurry. Two receivers again to each side for the Irish. Baylog is the back in the backfield. And they will fake the handoff. Going to throw it over the middle. It is caught, and that's a first down. DC Farrell, again, another big first down catch.
They fake the run. They draw the linebackers in. They get Farrell on the quick slant. He gets just enough for the first down. Linebackers weren't there. Moves the chains.
Give us to Baylog right side, and Baylog breaks through the defensive line on his feet, pushing near the 5, and Baylog brought down near the 4-yard line.
Now, Kyron Stewart there on the offensive line opened the biggest hole for the run game of the night for the Irish. Baylog ran through it, 1st and goal.
Baylog remains the featured back. We'll get the call again. Baylog looking left side, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Irish.
Touchdown.
Well, Ursuline's offense gets going on that second drive, and you go back to it was 4th down and 8, and the encroachment penalty moved Ursuline up to 4th and 3. They picked that one up, and then after that, they just sliced through to get into the end zone for a touchdown. So, good run there. The penalty kept the drive alive for the Irish, and they're able to get into the end zone. Penalties are just killers when you get this late onto the calendar.
Irish out to attempt the PAT, but if a high snap kick is down underway, it is up, and it is good. So with 2:42 to play, this game now knotted up at 7.
It was a big drive for Ursuline there, preventing Chardon from really getting to build momentum off that opening drive. And if anything, Ursuline has grabbed some there the way that drive finished with those quick strikes to get right through into the end zone for a touchdown. A little bit there, Matt, at the end of that, after that timeout, it was like a hot knife through butter there. They were just going, they're not huddling. Happened really quickly, and they were in the end zone.
Well, Chardon struck first, Ursuline responded. Now Ursuline tied this one up, and we'll see how the Hilltoppers offense responds when they get the ball back.
Well, you see how the Ursuline offense operates. For Chardon, you want to put long drives together. You want to dominate the line of the time of possession here. Did a nice job with a long drive on their first drive of the game. They want to come out and duplicate that. Keep the Ursuline offense off the field.
Kick off a short kick, and Toppers will fall upon it near the 22.
Yeah, so then this is another, that last touchdown drive for Ursuline started with that big return out to the 40. So here in the field position game now, the Hilltoppers are starting this drive from their own 22. .23 is where it's officially going to be spotted.
Now we'll see what offensive coordinator Don Novacic is going to be dialing up here on this drive. Chardon will have the ball 1st and 10 from their 23-yard line. Francis going to go up the middle, and Francis moves his way to about the 26-yard line where forward progress is called.
So 3-yard gain on 1st down. We always say that's all you need for a good start offensively, and he picks up the 3 yards, sets up a 2nd down and 7.
No, we saw the Hilltoppers on that last drive. They played the inside-out game. The one thing that is tough to do with Chardon for a lot of defenses, you have to either seal off the outsides or seal off the insides, and most defenses cannot do both. Going to be Francis again looking to go left side, and Francis, nothing going there on that run, maybe a yard.
Yeah, they tried to fake that sweep to the right side, and then they were running Francis counter of that. And it was just a good job there of Israel Davis keeping his eyes on the quarterback, getting in there to get the stop.
It's now 3rd and 6 for the Hilltoppers from the 27. We're going to see Derek Gallinet come out. It's a split end right side. Toppers come set, and they will hand it off. Caleb trying to get around the right side, breaks one tackle on his feet, but Caleb Hewitt looks like he will be spotted about a yard short of the 1st down. Needed to get to the 33, and they're going to mark him around the 32.
Yeah, so the Fighting Irish come out and make that big play, and they force, after that quick offensive drive and strike.
No, maybe not. Francis and company coming back out.
We saw last week something that we hadn't seen before that they'd been working on, and that was Will Francis pooch punting.
They're going to hand it off straight ahead. 1st down, Chardon. The big man, Vinny Colombi, picks it up.
And Matt, that's why you put that on film, because you got teams thinking this might be the pooch punt. They might not be going for it. You hand it off to Colombi, and he just dives forward with enough room to pick up a 1st down and move the chains.
Well, it's also a testament to Colombi and how he has grown and developed as a fullback this season. came in kind of as an unknown, but boy, he has done a very effective job running the football. Toppers will go back up the middle again in Columbia. Nowhere on first down, maybe a yard on that run.
Yeah, it was down low in on the stop.
Well, time running down here, and Chardon says, we're good with it. So, 1 quarter is in the books. This one is tied at 7. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have second quarter action here on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, Burr Funeral Home, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, The Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, PRP and Associates, Ronyak Paving, Sopchak Natural Health and Wellness Center, and Fit for Life Physical Therapy, TJ Smith Excavating, Remax Tradition, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, Residence Artists, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, and the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Special thanks for supporting the Gridiron Club goes to the Lodge at Bass Lake, We Were Athletes, Chardon Home Depot. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
Return to action here, and Ravenna Toppers running the football toward the right side. And again, another short yardage gain for the Hilltoppers, putting up a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, Ursuline, after that first drive, they've really come out and clamped down this run game here on drive number 2. And got Chardon at 3rd down and 7 here.
I appreciate y'all being a part of this one here. It is the Division III Regional Finals in Region 9. Francis dropping back to pass, looking, has a man. It's Bruce. Bruce at the 40, pushed out of bounds near the 42-yard line. Well shy, though, of the first down marker.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit further back from that line to game gain. Now Chardon would have to be punting against the wind. So we'll see. Going to bring the punt unit out.
Well, we saw the Irish punt from this side of the field, and it was more of a line drive kick. We'll see what Gallinac's going to do here. He puts a line drive kick down the field, going to take a Hilltopper bounce and roll and be downed around the 25.
Yeah, that shows that both punters were down on the field pregame, checking out those conditions, and they obviously both were aware, hey, it's a line drive if I'm punted in this direction today. Got to keep it under that wind.
So now, Irish back out on the field. They're looking to take the lead on this possession here, and it was the D.C. Farrell show, if you will, for a lot of that drive, making some big catches.
Yeah, it was. It was a nice connection between those two, and I think they're going to go back to those mid-range quick routes.
From the gun, they give it to Christian Lynch, bottled up around the 25, nowhere to go.
Yeah, they were able to break off a couple of runs late on that last drive, including the touchdown run. That time the Hilltopper front 7 there for the stop.
Irish make their adjustment. 3 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. Christian Lynch is the back in the backfield. And now a flag. Will be an illegal procedure call against the Irish.
Ursuline had offensive lineman flinch a little bit there.
Yeah, Robert Gilmore.
It's a loss of 5.
We'll make it 2nd down and 15 from the 20. Twins near side. Erickson under pressure, flushing out near side, going to throw the ball toward the sideline, and it's incomplete, and that brings up third down.
A nice job there. The Hilltoppers brought pressure, flushed him out of the pocket. He got in desperation, just had to let one go.
Well, the Chardon defense we have seen now when Jack Erickson is under pressure. Not the same quarterback as when he has some time to throw.
Very few guys are in that situation, but especially against this defense. This defense can really mess with a quarterback's rhythm. They need a play clock reset.
Erickson from the gun, looking to throw over the middle. Is caught. Ball is apparently fumbled, and the Hilltoppers recovered. I didn't see any signal that it was caught, but the officials, now they're going to huddle.
I was going to say, they threw the marker, so an official threw the marker. And what officials are told is not to call a fumble unless you're sure.
So it is a turnover.
Yep, it's a fumble recovered by the Hilltoppers. Big play by this Chardon defense. And the defense with a great bounce-back drive there.
So Toppers from the Irish 24-yard line in prime field position. So the first big mistake goes to the Irish, and you got to credit a very vicious and very physical Chardon defense for that hit that jarred that ball loose.
Hilltopper offense has to score now.
It's Will Francis to carry. Francis bouncing around on his feet, still going. Francis across the 20 and being pushed forward, and now forward progress is called by the officials, and they'll mark the ball around the 19.
It's a pickup of 5. Strong run by Will Francis as he was able to get out of a tackle, and he just kept going. But yeah, this is going to be a drive where if you're the Hilltoppers, you really want to score, and with the strong wind, even if you're close, you would think it's going to be hard to get a field goal up in this scenario. So they're probably headed for the end zone here.
Columbian Bruce in motion. They're going to throw the ball toward the end zone. Leo Columbi makes an adjustment, can't come down with it. Incomplete.
Ball was just a little bit underthrown. Columbi beat the defensive back, but the throw didn't get up over his shoulder, so he had to stop and try to come back, and that allowed the defensive back to get in there, get a hand up, and break up that play.
Well, that has been the connection, Francis to Columbi. Just a tick off, and Hilltoppers now will bring Caleb Hewitt.
And once again, right, you're throwing into the wind, so you get that throw up, and then that throw starts to tail back on you as it gets up into the wind.
Hewitt and Gallenak, the receivers, right side. Bruce in motion, and Francis going to keep it himself, trying to get around the right side. Francis bouncing out. Francis is close to that first down marker. Looks like he got it. We'll see where they spot this football, though.
A.J. Bruce and Caleb Hewitt out front throwing blocks, and then running inside a block by Zach Henningman. Great job by those three, and Will Francis able to pick up the first down.
Toppers now with the ball 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line, so they can pick up a first down here if they get to just past the 4. Francis will give the ball, and wrapped up and brought down is Drago Vujaclia. Gain of maybe a yard on that run.
If that, didn't really mark off forward much at all. It's the first time Vujaclia has been called tonight.
Yeah, no gain officially on that run. Second and 9 for the wing tee of Chardon. Francis will give it Bruce, coming left side. Bruce, 10, 5, makes a move toward the pylon. Is he in? Official says no, down at the 1.
That was a Great run by Bruce. He's trying to run to the pylon. They're trying to get that last block downfield, and they can't quite get him in, but still, huge run by A.J. Bruce. Sets up 1st and goal.
Well, Toppers trying to make the Irish pay for that fumble. Francis will hand it off. Columbi, touchdown Toppers.
Well, we're going to wait and see if has there been a call? I think there has. Yeah, touchdown. I say the players are fighting like the ball was on the ground, but the officials had already called it. It was a touchdown. And Chardon.
Well, big score on that 1-yard run by Columbi. And now Sautras out to attempt the PAT. Columbi's 16th TD on the year. PAT kick is underway. It is up, and it is good. So with 8:15 to play, Hilltoppers regain the lead, 14-7.
Well, Matt, tight quarters here in Ravenna, and so since I stepped out our press box door to see that play, I can confirm it is lightly raining, and it is a cold, light rain right now here in Ravenna. And that is my on-site weather report for you right now.
Might as well just throw on the woolly bear, and we're good to go.
That's right, yep.
Oh, boy. Well, folks, appreciate you being a part of this postseason broadcast here on GTV. It seems like we've been doing this and coming here to Ravenna now for I don't know, a couple of years.
We were here last year for the regional championship. That one was against Canfield. That was a real tight defensive battle a year ago.
Well, this one...
And it was about 30 degrees colder because it snowed, if I remember correctly.
Indeed it did.
Yes.
Toppers with the lead in this one now 14-7. They led 7-0 after a 5-yard Vinnie Columbi touchdown run, and then Ursuline responded back. Sosrich puts his leg into it, and the ball will be heading out of bounds. Not necessarily a bad thing.
No, keep it out of the hands of a big playmaker there and prevent a huge run back, and you get everything set. So, yeah, that was big. Hilltoppers have taken some momentum here. The defense got the turnover. The offense cashed it in with points.
Will be first down Ursuline from their own 35-yard line. And the Irish come out. Twins to the right. 2 receivers left. Now a man goes in motion. They will hand it off on the end around, trying to get outside. Liaison 40, 45, and brought down shy of the 50-yard line.
Well, talk about the need to control the edge. Ursuline does a good job there. They set a nice block, get him plenty of room to run through, and able to pick up a first down on that sweep run out to the left.
Liaison with just 6 carries entering this game for 76 yards, so they don't use him often. Toppers move.
Yeah.
Or I should say, encroached.
That's the second encroachment penalty against the Hilltoppers.
We'll make it a first and about 5. And it's what you don't want to do against this prolific offense, is give them some short yardage situations.
The Ursuline offense is explosive enough on their own.
Erickson from the gun. Baylog to his right. They hand it off to the big man. Baylog up the middle, and Baylog into a wall of football players. Picks up maybe a yard on that run.
Bring up second down and 4.
Nope, no gain.
And not a whole lot.
There was a lot of white jerseys, a lot of green jerseys, and nobody moved. Similar formation. They fake the handoff, look to throw over the middle, in and out of the hands of the receiver. I think that was Farrell. Nope, check that. It was Liaison.
Oh, they ran that same play again. They're going to fake the handoff to draw the linebackers in, and then they're going to run a quick slant over the middle and just try to drop the football off in there. But I think the field conditions, this light rain, is proving inconducive to the passing game right now as that ball slips out of the receiver's hands.
3 receivers right side, 1 to the left. Baylog in the backfield. Chardon showing the blitz. Now the senior QB going to call an audible here. Chardon moving some guys around. They look to throw it out on the reverse. Hilltoppers stop him, and they push Baylog back. A big stop on 3rd down.
And that was a great job by the Hilltoppers because they adjusted to Ursuline's adjustment. Ursuline saw that blitz coming, and they moved a guy over, and everyone on Chardon moved over. They made the big play for a loss. Ursuline's going to have to punt. Big play by Chardon there. Nice work by Beckett Dotson, the linebacker, adjusting to that play adjustment and getting back there to make the big stop. You could tell he knew the scouting report. He knew what play was coming. He got back there and made the big stop.
CJ Fresco out to punt the football for the Fighting Irish. AJ Bruce standing around his 15. Fresco, end-over-end wobbly kick that will head toward the right and go out of bounds.
Well, Chardon right now, they've grabbed some momentum here and things are going in their favor. Now the defense gets a stop. Ursuline has to punt it away. Can Chardon's offense move the ball down the field here and score? There's about 6:49 left, and Chardon got what they wanted at the beginning of the game. They deferred to the second half.
Ryan, we talked about this early. This could be a game of defensive stops. 3 for the Hilltoppers defense so far. Francis from the gun puts Caleb Hewitt in motion, and Francis going to keep it himself as he slips ahead to about the 22-yard line.
Yeah, we talked about a bit of a slick turf there sometimes where I feel like you could see water splashing up for under guys' feet, and Francis slipped up a little bit, picks up about 2. It's 2nd down and 8.
They'll bring Charlie Brock in to go a 2 tight end formation. Galanak in as a split end near side. Bruce lines up wide receiver to the right. Francis looking to throw, feeling some pressure, and he's brought down in the backfield for a sack.
Yeah, he wanted to work one out there to the outside, and Francis just not able to get rid of the football in time to avoid the sack.
That was A.J. Snyder on the sack for the Irish. And it's 3rd and 10.
Chance for Ursuline's defense to grab some good field position for their offense. If they can get a stop with Chardon punting into this wind, you'd think Ursuline would get the football somewhere around midfield.
Tight wing T formation. Francis rolling out right side, under pressure. Francis with it, he's going to tuck it and he's going to run. Francis gets close to the 30-yard line.
He is really close. I think he's just short.
He tried to dive ahead, but the officials will say he's about a yard shy and mark him down at the 29. He had to get to the 30.
Well, we saw the Hilltoppers at this part of the field in the first quarter were not afraid to go for it on 4th and 1. Give the ball to Vinny Columbi. Trust their offensive line to win that battle up front and get Columbi ahead. Do they go for it again? They've been very good on 4th downs in this postseason, 4th and shorts especially.
Chardon has to hurry down to 5 seconds on the play clock. Down to 3, to 2, and they have to call the timeout. Coach Hewitt going to burn the timeout here with 1 second left on the play clock.
You know what, Matt? That's one adjustment you have to make in the postseason is, you know, you've got the play clocks down here on the field. They're being run immediately to the second. You know, sometimes you'll have a little bit more grace on a play clock earlier in the season or someone's not as quick on the trigger to start it. But here in the playoffs, a lot of times those play clocks are a lot quicker on you than you'd expect. And I think that's what happened to Chardon there is they're forced to use a timeout.
Well, the other question now is will this timeout lend the Hilltoppers to say, you know what, we're just going to punt the football? Or do they keep the offense out on the field?
It was 4th and 1 with the wind at their back, and they decided to go for it. So looking into the wind. One would think they're going to go for it again, but you never know. And as we mentioned, we now know that Will Francis can put a pooch punt up there as well. So that's something else that's in the realm of possibility for the Hilltoppers.
It'll be 4th and 1 Hilltoppers from their own 29. 4:41 to play before halftime here in Ravenna. Toppers up 14-7 in the Division III Regional 9 regional finals. Toppers will go to the ground, and timeout was called by the Irish. A little bit of chess match going on.
Yeah, Ursuline wanted to see what play Chardon was going to come out with, and they say, okay, that's what the Hilltoppers are going to do. We'll take a timeout and discuss it. I mean, obviously Chardon's going to come out with a different play now, but you're right, this is the chess match. This is the kind of the back and forth here.
Well, you look at the timeout situation. Toppers will have 2 timeouts left once play resumes. Irish just 1.
Ursuline used that timeout on their touchdown scoring drive. It was a good timeout because after that timeout, they were able to march down the field and score.
No, this Ursuline team jumped out to a 27-0 lead against Villa Angela St. Joseph last week in the Division III Region 9 regional semifinals. But, boy, the Vikings made a valiant comeback that fell just a bit short.
And Ursuline kind of didn't get going until the second half in that game. Remember, Ursuline kind of took off after halftime in that game to build that 27-9 advantage.
And they also had a tough matchup against Canfield, winning by just 3 the week prior.
Yeah, it's been a tough walk through. I mean, that was the defending state champs, and Ursuline is the 1 seed, had to face them in the second week of the playoffs.
Ursuline going to stack the box here on 4th and 1. They think Toppers are just going to go straight ahead. Another tight wing T formation for Chardon. They put Hewitt in motion. Toppers going right side, and it looks like they got it.
They gave it to Hewitt on the run, and Hewitt to the right, able to pick up the first down. You were right, Matt. Ursuline was lining up like Chardon was just going to go up the middle, so instead they go to the sweep, and they get enough for Caleb Hewitt. So once again, an aggressive play call on 4th and short in your own territory, and the Hilltoppers convert on it.
Well, that was a big conversion. It now starts the clock again, or I should say keeps it going, 4:20 and counting here before halftime. Man in motion, fake, and it's Will Francis straight ahead, and Francis maybe a yard. Yeah, probably nothing, the way that the official's coming in from the sideline.
Yeah, nice job there as Ursuline's defense was cued in on Francis. Galloway gets the stop, but still a yard for Will Francis, 2nd down and 9.
Folks, do invite you to stick around for halftime. The Pride of Chardon, the Hilltopper Marching Band, will be taking the field to entertain you. Long way to go before that, though. Run right side, Vinny Columbian. Columbi stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, behind the line of scrimmage. That was going to go for a loss of about a yard. It's going to set them back to 3rd down and 10. As that was just great job. The Fighting Irish brought the blitz, and there's just nowhere for Columbi to go.
Gallinack and Hewitt come into this contest. It's 3rd and 10 Chardon. Clock moving around 3:10 and counting. Play clock down to 7. Francis will fake the handoff, dropping back to pass. Francis under pressure. He's brought down again. Big number 17, Carter Rudzik with the sack.
Yeah, that's the second time we've seen. There's just not a lot of pocket for Will Francis there, and he gets back there in a hurry to sack Will Francis for the loss.
Well, at times we see the Hilltopper offense winning the line of scrimmage, but after that first down, it was all Irish dominating the line.
That was back-to-back plays where the Ursuline defensive line won the line of scrimmage, and so Chardon is punting.
4th and 15. High kick. Very high kick. Going to take a Irish bounce, and the Toppers will down it right near midfield.
And that's what happens with those high kicks into that wind. That was just getting pushed back. And now Ursuline taking some momentum back. They end that drive on a big sack, and they get the football at midfield.
First and 10 from the midfield stripe.
2:15 to play, and that's more than enough time for this offense to put a touchdown on the board.
Yeah, this offense, we saw it. Quick strike potential.
Erickson from the gun, Lynch to his right. Going to throw it over the middle. He has Farrell. Farrell wrapped up by Hewitt and brought down near the 25-yard line. A big gain of 25 on first down.
And that's been the connection, finding Farrell. Another great route by Farrell, streaking over the middle. It's a first down, big play, over 20 yards on the first play of the drive.
Farrell again, 48 catches on the season entering tonight, averaging about 15 yards a catch. Erickson has time to throw, looking, stepping up in the pocket, and they got him from behind.
Great coverage downfield. The pocket couldn't hold forever. It collapsed. The Hilltoppers able to get there, get the sack.
Cian Sabella going to get credited with the sack. Bringing up a second down and about 12. Now a minute 30 to play here. Erickson again, stepping up in the pocket. And he's going to be wrestled backwards and knocked down. The Toppers got him again. Drayton Allgood coming in to get him.
There was no pocket that time for him to throw in. That blitz came from the Hilltoppers, and he was running for his life from the beginning. That's a huge loss.
Coach Landy's dialing up some big plays right now defensively. It is third down and very long. Ball spotted at the 39.
They don't have to get all the yardage here. It's 4-down territory. You just need to get enough to set up a reasonable fourth.
3rd and 24 to be exact. Erickson going to throw down the left side and overthrows everybody. Incomplete.
Thought he had a shot, but the Hilltoppers had good coverage downfield there. It's going to be hard to get that one into that window, and the pass falls incomplete.
Well, 4th down and 24, and you got to feel that the way that this weather is playing off, there's no way you're going to attempt a field goal here, especially when the Irish, their long field goal of the year is just 32 yards.
Oh, no, this is go-for-it territory here. The thing they've got is the wind at their back, but they're going to punt, it looks like.
They're going to look to punt and maybe pin them back, or you got to wonder, maybe you do a fake punt here. Let's see what they're going to do. Good snap. It is a line drive kick, and that will roll into and out of the end zone.
Yeah, that's a tough. I understand why they decided to do that. They don't want to risk another sack or a turnover there. But that's a tough ask to ask someone with that strong a wind at their back to pin a punt inside. And a lot of momentum on that punt as it gets out of bounds. But I think that was more about avoiding letting the Chardon defense make a big play.
Well, I think the other thing is you look at what's left on the clock here. 43 seconds to go, and for Chardon, maybe you try a run, maybe two, but certainly they can kneel here and get into halftime up by a touchdown.
Yeah, I was going to say Chardon gets the football to start the second half, so they can be a little bit conservative in the play calling here.
What you don't want to do is turn it over. They're going to give it right side, and a gain of about 5 on that run by Vuyaklia. Toppers in no rush. And in all likelihood, they're done.
Yeah,
Indeed it is. They're starting to walk toward the sidelines. And with that, the Hilltoppers will head into the locker room up by a score 14-7. Impressive first half for Chardon.
Yeah, an impressive first half. They had 2 good touchdown drives in there. The defense got the big turnover, forcing that fumble in really short field position. Hilltoppers took advantage of that one. So nice all-around first half for Chardon.
With that, we'll pause and take a timeout. When we come back, it'll be the halftime show for you here on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, Burr Funeral Home, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, The Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, PRP and Associates, Roniak Paving, Sopchak Natural Health and Wellness Center, and Fit for Life Physical Therapy, TJ Smith Excavating, Remax Tradition, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, Residence Artists, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, and the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Special thanks for supporting the Gridiron Club goes to the Lodge at Bass Lake, We Were Athletes, Chardon Home Depot. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
covered by musicians ranging from Michael Bublé to Maroon 5 to James Brown. Featuring our fabulous toperettes, here is Crazy Little Thing Called Love.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, Burr Funeral Home, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, The Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, PRP and Associates, Ronyak Paving, Sopchak Natural Health and Wellness Center, and Fit for Life Physical Therapy, TJ Smith Excavating, Remax Tradition, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, Residence Artists, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, and the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Special thanks for supporting the Gridiron Club goes to the Lodge at Bass Lake, We Were Athletes, Chardon Home Depot. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
Fantastic halftime performance by the Hilltopper Marching Band. Appreciate them making the trek down here to Ravenna. Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you as we are just about set for kickoff here in this Division III Region 9 regional final matchup between your Hilltoppers and the Fighting Irish of Youngstown Ursuline. Short kickoff going to be taken around the 25 left side to the 30 and shy of the 35-yard line. That is where the Hilltoppers will take over. Do want to send a shout-out to the Hilltopper faithful who made the trek down and got part of that cavalcade down Route 44 to get here.
Yeah, it's a fun trip down 44 when you know you're coming down for the regional finals. And yeah, this is, the Hilltoppers love to defer for this exact reason, Matt. They have a chance to set the score, the tone for the second half. If they score here and make it a two-score game, they set the tone for how the second half is going to be played.
Toppers will hand the ball off. Caleb Hewitt bouncing right side. A little bit of running room. Hewitt breaks a couple tackles. 50, and Hewitt brought down near the 40. Big run by Caleb.
Huge run by Caleb Hewitt. You said it. He was breaking tackles, stepping into holes. He runs through, eventually pulled down by Davis. Otherwise, that would have been a touchdown run, but that's a good run to start the second half for Chardon.
Caleb, the third leading rusher on this team entering tonight. 638 yards on the ground, 12 scores, and he's done some damage through the air as well. They'll fake the handoff, and it's Francis running left side between the tackles, and Francis picks up a nice chunk of real estate on first down.
Yeah, Will Francis comes up, picks up 5 yards, going to bring up second down and short here, or second down and 5, I should say, but still that's a good run to shorten things up.
Well, for the Hilltoppers, it was a hard-fought first half. A first half where we saw the defense capitalize. They got a fumble recovery, and the offense able to punch it in to take the lead 14-7. Going to be Francis keeping it again right side. Francis, a little bit of running room, picking his way across the 30 for the first down. And some yards coming easy on this run for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, again, it starts out up front. You get good blocking up front. They open up that hole. Will Francis comes through it, picks up the first down, moves the chains.
Chardon will have a fresh set of downs from the Irish 29. A.J. Bruce goes in motion. They give us to A.J. Looking outside, makes another cut in A.J. out near the 25-yard line.
Nice job there by A.J. Bruce. He's running along. He's looking for gaps. He picks up 5 yards. It's second down and 5. Good blocking in front of that for the Hilltoppers.
Well, A.J. and Caleb certainly doing some nice work running the football, but they've done some excellent work in the secondary as well tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Toppers with a second down and 6 from the 25. Man in motion. Francis going to keep it himself. Francis, nope, check that. He handed it off, and coming near side was Hewitt, and Hewitt, no gain on that run.
Yeah, Caleb Hewitt couldn't get around the edge there. He's chased down by Luke Kohler, who gets the stop. Be 3rd down and 5. After no gain. And so Leo Columbi's going to check in.
Well, this certainly is in the vicinity of 4-down territory for the Hilltoppers.
And you're at 3rd and 5, so you can afford to try a pass first and then go back to the ground.
Chardon comes set, Francis under center. They'll pitch it left side, Hewitt. Hewitt makes a cut, slipped, and gained maybe a yard.
A.J. Bruce got out there and gave the block, but we talked about it in the first half, Matt. What we noticed when we were down on that field, that was slick, and there were puddles on that turf. It did not seem like it was draining real well, and I think there we see the wet conditions of the turf come up, and it's no gain after what could have been close to a 1st down run.
That brings up 4th down and about 6. Chardon. Well, they need to hurry to the line. There's about 8 seconds left on the play clock, and they're going to be forced to burn a timeout here because they're not going to come set.
Yeah, we talked about it in the first half, right? The play clocks get more direct here the later you get into the playoffs, and that time starts faster than you're used to, and it'll run out on you, and Hilltoppers forced to use a timeout there to avoid taking a delay of game. Now, this will give us a chance to let you know that, as you know, the city of Chardon has reduced its support for GTV by approximately 25% this year. With less support, our staff has been reduced, and we have struggled to hire the extra personnel needed to produce many of our programs that require added personnel beyond the GTV staff of only one person need financial support in order to employ those persons. Without that funding due to less staff, we have reduced our programming. We're sorry to say that this fall we covered fewer Hilltopper contests than in years past. Chardon Township, Middlefield Village, and Munson Township continue to fully support GTV through the cable fee they receive, and we thank them for that continued support.
Well, the Toppers will have a 4th down and 6 looking to convert here. They've converted a couple 4th downs in this game, not one from 6 yards out. We'll see what they do here. Francis dropping back to pass, feeling some pressure, going to throw it. Caught by Columbi, right side, and Columbi down to the 15-yard line, 1st down.
Perfectly done by Leo Columbi. He runs the route. He gets out there right where he needs to catch it and delivered on a dime by Will Francis.
So the Hilltoppers, fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 15. And Chardon on the move. Give this to Bruce. Bruce looking to make a cut back inside. Bruce on his feet toward the end zone. And he will slip and be brought down just shy of the goal line.
I think this one's going to come back, Matt. There was a big hole that opened up. Bruce changed direction. Yeah, it's holding against Chardon.
Well, that's the one call that you did not, well, one of 2 calls you didn't want to see come out tonight.
And look, that again, similar to last week, much cleaner game than what we saw earlier in the season or a couple weeks ago against Geneva, but that is a holding penalty at a crucial time because it not puts you at 1st and 20, but at this point it pushes you probably out of field goal range too.
Going to be Francis on the keeper. Francis moving forward, fighting for yardage up to about the 20, I will say the 19.
Yes, nice job by Francis. Picks up 5, and once again we see him refusing to go down, just kind of pushing forward.
Well, the Hilltoppers gain a little bit of that lost yardage back. They'll have a 2nd down and about 14 from the 19. Francis looking to throw. Man open left side. It's Columbi. Columbi out of bounds near the 10.
Yeah, great catch out there by Leo Columbi. Another good route. And Will Francis is able to connect with him. Columbi gets out of bounds. It's a pickup of about 6. And they got pushed back to first and long, Matt, but this is perfect. They're picking up 5-6 yards at a time. They got themselves into a third and manageable situation here.
Ball marked on the 11. So it'll be 3rd down and 6 from the 11. Toppers coming to the line. Tight wing T formation for Chardon. Francis going to send a man in motion. They will hand it off, coming right side. Hewitt trying to turn the corner, but he goes out of bounds.
Nice job there by Ursuline. Chardon was not able to set the edge. Hewitt couldn't come around the corner. Now it's decision time for the Hilltoppers.
Now the decision is to bring Sam Sosrich out for the kick. So Sosrich, who's 3 of 6 on field goals this year, set to come out to try what will be
it's about a 28-yarder.
Kick is down, underway, it is up, it is in the air, and it is good! With 6:35 to go here in the third, the Toppers add 3, and they lead 17-7.
Well, high school sports are just a part of our programming lineup on GTV. Our coverage continues all year long for Cardinal, NDCL, and Chardon sports. We're in our 28th year and can't believe it. We're covering children of children we covered when we started. Check channels 1020 and 1025 regularly for replay dates and times. Don't forget our community and school bulletin board services are there as well, 24 hours a day. Well, Chardon was able to get the score, so they've made it a 2-score game. It's 17-7. They have a little bit of cushion. They took the first half, basically, of the third quarter away. So they've set the tone for how this second half is going to play out, which is why you want to defer. You want that opportunity. And they did. They turned it into a 2-score lead. So,
well, they would love to have that holding penalty back, but
they would. I know you always want to score 7, but you got the 3. You got the points on the board. Nice kick by Sam there. And
the important thing, Ryan, though, you look at the scoreboard now, 2-possession game.
That's what you were looking for.
So Sosrich has the ball teed up. They have attempted for the most part tonight to avoid kicking deep. High kick, going to be short. Taken at the 10. And return man going to be brought down near the 30-yard line. Liaison, return of about 20, and that is where the high-octane, no-stopping, no-huddle Irish offense comes back out on the field.
Yeah, that was a good return there to get them out to the 30. And, again, that's why that first drive is also important for Chardon, as we mentioned. Took 5.5 minutes of this third quarter off the clock before Ursuline's high-power offense even gets out there for the first time in the second half.
So Jack Erickson going to fake the hand up, looking to throw over the middle. It is caught, 45, 50, and brought down near the 45-yard line. That was D.C. Farrell for the big, check that, not D.C. Farrell, Terrian Davis Jr. with the big reception.
Oh, those quick slants have been the best routes. You had to step inside on Hewitt, makes the big catch.
They give it to Lynch on the run, and Lynch powers his way forward for a pickup of a yard to the 44.
Chardon has still been tough on that run defense, as they have been all year long. Outside of on that touchdown drive, Ursuline has not gotten much going on the ground.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Erickson from the gun, Lynch to his right, looking to throw, coming near side, D.C. Farrell with the catch, has some blockers, 40, Farrell, 35, Farrell, 30, brought down from behind, and that time it was Austin Green who held on to him, allowing his defenders to bring him down.
Hilltoppers brought pressure. That opens some space for Farrell. Farrell comes back to the football, makes the catch. Plenty of runs after the catch, and here's the quick strike offense. Already inside the Chardon 30 are the Irish.
1st and 10 from the 26 of Chardon. 3 receivers right, 1 near side. They will fake the handoff to Lynch over the middle. Incomplete pass. That time looking for Devontae Taylor.
That was good coverage there by A.J. Bruce that time. We've seen that play to success numerous times. Fake the handoff, draw the linebackers in, throw the quick slant. A.J. Bruce, good physical defense out there, preventing the receiver from breaking free.
It'll be 2nd down and 10 Irish. The senior QB looks in for the signal from the sidelines. Again, 3 receivers right and 1 near side. Will fake the handoff. Will again look to throw toward the end zone. And the ball is going to be incomplete. Flags coming out, and it's going to be against A.J. Bruce.
Yeah, they're going to get the call down there. A.J. Bruce gets a little tripped up as the receiver is trying to adjust to the football. I don't think there's anything A.J. Bruce can do.
Now, Devontae Taylor, there was some back and forth between the two.
It's one of those things, though, whereas Taylor's trying to adjust back to the ball. It's not that there's anything A.J. Bruce can do, but intent doesn't really matter there, right? Because the receiver runs back into him, Bruce is not making a play on the football. They're going to throw the flag on that every time. It's the way it's going to be.
It will give the Irish a first down as the ball will be marked on the 12? Check that, the 13. Same formation. Erickson fakes the handoff, looks to Taylor in the end zone, and it is knocked away, incomplete.
Picking on that same one-on-one matchup, and again, A.J. Bruce not afraid to go right back in with good physical coverage, and the pass falls incomplete.
We'll make it 2nd down and 10. Chardon's defense has had throughout a lot of the season a bend but don't break mentality when pushed back inside the red zone. Let's see if they can stop the Irish here. From the 13. Fake the handoff, throw over the middle, incomplete. Was looking to thread the needle to Farrell, but he just could not get the timing down.
Couldn't quite get there, just out of the reach of Leo Columbi. Might have had a chance to pick that one off with an extra step. Instead, it brings up a 3rd down.
They go from that same formation as they have this drive. Erickson flushing out near side, looking to throw, under pressure, tucks it towards the end zone, has a man open who doesn't even have to move, and that's a touchdown Irish.
Not sure what happened there, but something happened in coverage for Chardon. I mean, that was just a wide open pass. You're right, he didn't have to move. He didn't have to battle a receiver. He was just standing down there, and Farrell makes the catch. So not sure what happened in the coverage down there, but Chardon didn't have anyone anywhere near the vicinity to make a play. It was an easy touchdown pass.
Well, D.C. Farrell, who is the top receiver for Jack Erickson, just wide open. And when you don't have to move, that's an easy catch. He was just standing there.
Didn't have to fight anyone, didn't have to move. He's just waiting for the football.
PAT kick is underway, and it is good. Well, with 5:17 to go, the Irish close the gap. It's Chardon 17 and Ursuline 14.
And the difference between these two teams, Matt, Chardon's touchdown drive takes 5.5 minutes, just over a minute for Ursuline to respond. Now, GTV has an email service that will send you GTV replay information. Just go to our website, www.geaugatv.org, and sign up. When we set our schedule, you'll be the first to know. It's easy and informative, so sign up now. This is, again, so Chardon, you want to keep this pressure on here. Ursuline's made it a 1-score game. Again, you want to keep that cushion. You want to make it a 2. Offense needs to come back out, get down the field, and this time they're going to want to score a touchdown here. Get it back to a 2-score game, maintain your cushion, respond and score, stay in control here.
Well, the Hilltoppers had some success until they got down inside the red zone. Then it kind of fell apart there. But
it was the holding penalty. As we've talked about all year, penalties are drive killers, and that holding penalty turned what looked like a sure touchdown drive into a field goal instead.
Irish will kick it off a bit short. Taken by Hewitt at the 20, 25-30. Up near the 35. And the Hilltoppers will bring the offense back out on the field here with 5:11 to go in the third, up by a field goal. Now, the Hilltoppers offense has been able to open up some holes on the inside and at times some holes on the outside, but you have to give the Irish defense a little bit of credit, Ryan, because they've been able to kind of hang tough and clog up some lanes.
Yeah, and then they've had times where they've had the bend but don't break mentality themselves.
Toppers will give it up to Columby, and Columby powers his way out to about the 37.
Big hole there for Vinny Columby to accelerate through. A leg tackle prevents him from going any further. Still, you pick up 3 yards. Good start to the drive. 2nd and 7 now.
Now Zach Henneman going to check in. He'll come right side as the split end. Hewitt goes in motion. Fake to Hewitt. And Francis going to run right side up to about the 41. Another good pickup on 2nd down.
Again, you're going to fake a run to the left. Francis is going to counter that, run to his right. Picks up 4 yards, 3rd down and 3. And your offense is right on schedule here as you set up a 3rd down and 3. Got to convert and keep the drive going.
Well, and about this time that the Hilltoppers have run a couple plays, that was the time it took for Ursuline to score a TD. To give you a sense there. Francis going to throw it, caught near side, 1st down, Leo Columbian. Columbia's been finding some holes.
Well, you got a senior receiver out there, and Leo's just running really good routes. He gets to the marker, he gets the 1st down, springs himself open. Francis able to find him. 2 seniors connect. Leo Columbi doing a really nice job running good routes, getting himself open. Change move.
Now, this is what the Hilltoppers want right now. You pick up these 1st downs and you let that clock move. You run time off the clock here as we now hit the 3:40, as we're at the 3:48 mark of the 3rd quarter. Francis will hand it off. Coming forward is Columbi, and I believe I saw a flag.
Flag comes out. This is probably going to go against Chardon again, Matt. Yeah, holding on the Hilltoppers. They avoided this in the 1st half. Now on both drives here in this 3rd quarter, as they're moving the ball and getting the drive going forward, they commit holding penalties. That pushes them back.
Officials will mark it off to the 36-yard line. That will make it 1st down and very long for the Hilltoppers.
1st and 20.
AJ goes in motion. Francis stepping up in the pocket, going to dump it off. Bruce made the catch, but nowhere to go. Some great coverage by Davis Jr. to come up and make that open field tackle.
Yeah, Will Francis got caught in between there. He eventually decided to run, saw some pressure, dumped it off. A.J. Bruce had nowhere to go. Hilltoppers actually might have lost. Maybe they got right back to the line of scrimmage. There wasn't much offered on that play, though.
Now it's when the Chardon offense gets pinned back like this that they have struggled this year.
All offenses do. It's tough to play behind the chains.
Fake to Bruce. Francis, a little bit of running room. Francis lowers his shoulders, crosses the 40, and is brought down near the 43.
Nice work by the offensive line. Good blocking in front of that. Will Francis picks up about 7, but you're still facing a 3rd down and about 13 here.
Now Columbi coming back into the game, and he has caught a couple nice passes tonight from Will Francis. Now, one thing we have not seen Chardon do is throw the ball deep down the field. tonight. Francis has some time. Now he'll look deep to Columbi, who is not able to bring it down. Ball was tipped up, and it looked like that was Luke Collar who broke it up.
Columbi had a step, but the ball was underthrown. Collar nearly picks it off. It falls incomplete. And this is all momentum Ursuline right now. Quick strike, touchdown. Their defense comes out, gets a stop. Again, a holding penalty, stalls out a Hilltopper drive. And now they're punting.
Galanak at his 30 gets the punt off. The return man will bring it forward across the 20. A couple yards, though, nothing going, as great coverage by the Hilltoppers. And now out comes Erickson and company, looking to take the lead on this drive.
Yeah, when Ursuline looked like they were getting things going in the first half, the Hilltopper defense was able to take momentum back and hold it for the rest of the half after a turnover. I think the Hilltoppers will be looking for a big play like that again, get a turnover and really shift the momentum back into Chardon's favor here.
Two receivers on each side, a back in the backfield for Erickson. Dropping back the pass. He has time, looking down the field, and he throws it to the wrong shoulder of D.C. Farrell, who got spun around on that play.
He did get spun around. So after watching that play, I'm looking at the flag, trying to figure out maybe what the wind is doing down there, because Farrell going one direction, then he gets turned back the other way, couldn't make the catch. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. You're thrown into the wind. That does weird things to a football.
And remember, when they switch fields, it'll be the Toppers that will have to deal with the wind to close out this game. Irish put a man in motion. They bring the heat. Erickson chucks the ball up in the air. It's caught one-handed. My, oh my. Devontae Taylor with the catch.
Yeah, Devontae Taylor somehow makes the catch. It's a short gain. It gets out to about the 28-yard line. It's 3rd down and 6, but Taylor does a nice job to get to a spot where his quarterback can find him.
Well, that's a pass that most coaches will say don't make.
You got a senior quarterback who's pretty good. I think he's a guy who gets a chance to make some of these throws if he wants.
Well, and the sophomore wide receiver with a big catch there brings up 3rd and 6 for the Irish. Toppers would love to get a stop here and force a punt into the wind. Erickson rolling out toward the right, looking down the field toward the sideline, or excuse me, toward the right side, and they're going to call pass interference on the Toppers. I don't know about that one.
We're not down there. We don't see it from the angle that the official sees it from, so we don't know what the official saw. From up here, it looks like you might have seen a little bit of extension by the arms of Caleb Hewitt. Maybe that's what he gets called for. But you just hope the official who's on the field, who has a better angle than us, is sure. Because this is a big game to make that call if you're not sure.
Well,
so you just hope he's sure about what he saw.
Very few flags in the first half, and now they're coming out in bunches for the Toppers here in the second half.
Don't always love that when you see that from officiating crew either. You should call the game the same way in the second half you did in the first, especially in the regional finals.
Quick throw near side. Wrapped up and brought down. Toppers snuffed that one out. Braden Maruna with the tackle for a loss of a couple yards.
But big physical hit by Maruna there, too. He gets into the backfield, and he delivers a big hit. It's a loss of a couple.
It'll be 2nd and 12 from their 41. Again, twins to the right, 2 receivers near side. Erickson looking left, throwing over the middle. He has his man for the first down. It's D.C. Farrell, who found a spot in the zone.
Well, that's it. Those slants are working for them. The Hilltoppers are back there in zone coverage, and they're running these slants behind the linebackers, getting to open spots. And, man, he just runs some great routes to get himself open.
As the leading receiver is and remains the leading receiver for the Irish. About 50 seconds to go. Erickson has time. Now being flushed out near side. Looking, and will chuck it away. And incomplete.
think the Hilltopper sideline wanted intentional grounding to be called. That's not going to happen, though. 2nd down and 10 here.
So that incompletion stops the clock with about 44 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Toppers up by 3. Erickson under pressure. Dumps it out right side. Ball's caught 45-40 down the sideline, 30, and out of bounds Devontae Taylor. He did get the 1st down.
Screen pass to Taylor, just like so many other guys on this offense. He's an athlete. He gets the ball in space. He's able to pick up a bunch of yards, 1st down, and this quick strike offense of Ursuline right now is at full speed, Matt, and the Hilltoppers struggling to stop it.
Three receivers to the far side. Fake the handoff to Lynch. Ball over the middle. Nearly intercepted. Tight coverage by A.J. Bruce. The ball was batted up, and for a second there, I thought maybe, just maybe, that I think that was Big 73, Logan Bryant, who almost came up with the pick.
Yeah, that ball got knocked into the air. I think it was Beckett Dotson blitzing the linebacker who touched it, and the ball was up for grabs.
It's now 2nd and 10 from the 36. 32 ticks before halftime. Erickson looking left. Going to throw it down the field, and ball is going to be not caught, incomplete. Good job by A.J. Bruce, who poked that one away from Taylor.
Yeah, good job by A.J. Bruce, and A.J. Bruce is very experienced. He's a senior, and there's been a couple of pass interference calls, but he's not afraid. He's going out there, good physical coverage, making it difficult on these receivers for Ursuline.
Well, it is 3rd and 10, and this is likely 2-down territory for the Irish. Now, 2 receivers to each side and Lynch in the backfield. Erickson stepping up in the pocket. Throw, it's picked off! Austin Green has it 40, 45-50, and brought down 45. The Hilltoppers get another turnover.
Flag is thrown at the 50 after the interception, so I think this is going to stand, whatever the call is, but the Hilltoppers, that was just a big play. Erickson gets flushed out of the pocket. He tries to make a play, and his eyes just get red. And jumping in front of the route to pick that ball off and take it the other way. Huge play by Austin Green. Reads the quarterback's eyes. QB didn't see him. Jumps the route. Makes the catch. And as we said at the start of the drive, Matt, the Hilltopper defense was going to be looking for another turnover.
So the return will be brought out to the 42.
So, yeah.
It is sideline warning for the Hilltoppers. Now, each team with a sideline infraction, penalties come next.
So, yeah, but either way for Chardon, that's a huge play.
Chardon has scored a touchdown off 1 turnover tonight. They would love to add another here.
That's exactly the play this defense was looking for, to swing momentum back the Hilltoppers' way.
Francis fakes it, keeps it himself, and Francis dives ahead across the 35 down toward the 36. And that will do it as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. Toppers, they lead 17-14. We'll take a timeout and come back with more on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, Burr Funeral Home, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, The Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, PRP and Associates, Ronyak Paving, Sopchak Natural Health and Wellness Center, and Fit for Life Physical Therapy, TJ Smith Excavating, Remax Tradition, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, Residence Artists, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, and the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Special thanks for supporting the Gridiron Club goes to the Lodge at Bass Lake, We Were Athletes, Chardon Home Depot. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
Well, before that play was run, it'll be an illegal procedure against the Hilltoppers. Back them up 5. Welcome back, everyone. It is the fourth quarter here of the Division III Region 9 regional semifinals, otherwise known as the state quarterfinals, here from Gilchrist Field at Portage Community Bank Stadium in Ravenna. Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you. Down to 1 quarter left here in week number 4 of the playoffs. Topper's going to hand it off. A.J. Bruce looking to make something happen. Bruce with the stiff arm and knocked out of bounds inside the 35, down toward the 33.
So it's a nice run. He's going to pick up about 5. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 2 here for the Hilltoppers in 4-down territory. They'll have 2 shots to pick this one up and keep the drive going.
Well, a big interception by Green gave the Hilltoppers some good field position to start off with, and they got to make the Irish pay.
I would say it's the same thing as in the first half when the defense got that turnover. The offense has to respond and score here.
The give is to Hewitt. Running room right side. Hewitt breaks a tackle. 20, 15, 10. Touchdown, Toppers!
Oh, what a big run there by Caleb Hewitt. Great blocking up front. They open up a hole for him. He steps around a tackle, and Caleb Hewitt is gone. Hewitt had the big touchdown reception last week against Aurora. Here to start the fourth quarter, a huge touchdown run. Put it back to a 2-score lead for the Hilltoppers. What a run by Caleb Hewitt, and of course, great blocking to get it all started.
Well, the offensive line has certainly done a great job tonight, but a lot more football to be played. And this is a big PAT. So Sam Sosrich, good hold, good kick. It is up, and it is good. With 11:17 to go, Chardon up 24-14.
Well, today's special cable cast is funded by your cable subscriber franchise fees, and we'd like to again extend thanks to all the GTV funding communities, including those not funding tonight's contest for their year-round support. They are Chardon Township, Middlefield Village, Munson Township, and partially funded by the city of Chardon. Thanks again for supporting GTV, and thanks to all our viewers for the support.
Folks, in case you're wondering, winner of this game will likely get Toledo Central Catholic, the reigning Division II state champion who knocked off Akron Hoban last year to get that D2 state championship. They fell down this year, the last school to move down.
It'll be a difficult matchup next week for whatever team gets there, but it's something that I know the Hilltoppers don't shy away from. They'll be ready if they're in that game next week. Ursuline, of course, still not out of this. They've got quick strike offense. This game, Matt, far from over, but Hilltoppers get the big turnover they needed. The offense responded, so they set themselves up with a 2-score advantage with the touchdown drive at the start of the half, and they maintain that here early in the fourth quarter.
Well, and right now what you do not want to do is give up a big kickoff return at this juncture of the game.
That's how Ursuline comes back on teams, right? They just have so much big play potential.
Deep kick that will go out of bounds. I thought for a second there that Liaison may take it, but he just watched it go out of bounds, and Chardon will take that.
Yeah, Chardon will take that. He avoids the big return.
You know, we have not given the Hilltopper defensive line enough credit tonight because they've done a good job, and they've been able to get pressure on senior Jack Erickson.
I was going to say, Ursuline goes too fast. We don't have a time to say anything about
No,
the
matter of fact, we never got to introduce the defense
No,
tonight.
I mean, Ursuline just goes too fast. But, yeah, that Chardon defense, they've done a good job containing him. Again, it's been the quick passes. He hasn't had any big throws. It's been the quick slants where Ursuline has had their most success tonight.
Ursuline 1st and 10 from the 35. Jack Erickson going to step up in the pocket. Erickson was brought down, and it's Caleb Schutzman with the sack. A flag comes out during the play.
So they get the sack. The call is going to be hold against Ursuline, and
Hilltoppers, there is a Hilltopper down, and you look at what Chardon's D-line has done. Again, folks, if you're just joining us, Austin Lazinski was hurt on the very last play of practice Thursday. It was a non-contact injury. Good news is the injured Hilltopper able to come off and walk off the field. Didn't get a chance to look at to see the number, Ryan.
Thought it was 19. So 19 would be Ciancibello. Good news was he was jogging off on his own.
So the Hilltoppers will decline the holding penalty, making it 2nd down and about 12.
Yeah, with the quick strike potential of this Ursuline offense, if you get a loss, you don't want to give them another down. So take that loss in 2nd and 12 here.
3 receivers topside. Little receiver screen looking for something to happen. 35, 40, 45, and 50. I think that was D.C. Farrell. Indeed it was. Boy, they've given him a couple of passes on that bubble screen, and he's made the play.
Yeah, they got out to Farrell. Phil Bowser, the right tackle, came all the way out to block in front of that bubble screen run. Had him up against a defensive back. That's a tough matchup.
From the 48, Erickson stepping up in the pocket. Kisley has him and brought him down. Kyle Kisley with the sack, and the Hilltoppers get to Jack Erickson again.
Yeah, what a play by Kisley. Erickson goes down for a loss of 2. The Hilltoppers not shying away. They keep bringing that pressure.
From the 46, 2nd down and 12, Irish. 3 receivers near side. Erickson going to throw, and a little bit of bumping, but no penalty.
I mean, the Hilltoppers are getting great pressure right now, and it's just the 3 down linemen plus a linebacker. That's it. That's all they're rushing right now. And they are getting such great pressure. The Ursuline offensive line really struggling to hold a pocket right now around their quarterback.
Oh, Beckett Dotson has been a difference maker in this game from that outside linebacker position. Officials will reset the play clock. And now they'll start it. 10:15 left in this one. It is Chardon at 24 and Ursuline 14. It's 3rd and 12 for the Irish. Hilltopper faithful getting loud. Erickson looking for a screen. He has a receiver who is going to be... stays on his feet across the 40 and brought down just shy of the 36-yard line. Thought for a second they might have him behind the chains, but no, he broke free.
They did have him. He was able to break out of a leg tackle. And he's able to get the big drive forward to move the chains. Really good athletes. You got to get good, secure tackles on them.
That was Terrian Davis Jr. with the reception. Erickson looking to throw right side again. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of Davis Jr. Caleb Hewitt asking where's the flag. He's saying he was pushed off. Officials don't throw anything.
Yeah, something happened because somehow there was a lot of space between Hewitt and the receiver, but the receiver just couldn't make the catch. Looked like the ball came a little earlier than he was expecting.
2nd and 10. Topper showing blitz. Erickson heaves it up in the air. Incomplete. Was looking for 8 again in Davis Jr.
Again, not much of a pocket. He gets hit as he's throwing, and the ball sails incomplete. Didn't really get a chance to get himself set to throw that. This pressure right now from the Hilltoppers up front, completely disrupting the passing game.
No, they've switched running backs now. Instead of Christian Lynch, it's Joe Baylog into the game. Baylog played a significant portion of that first half.
Probably looking at him as a blocker here.
More pressure coming. Erickson forced to throw. Chucks it out of bounds. And now it is 4th and 10 Irish.
I mean, the Hilltoppers are just dialing up the pressure right now, and Ursuline cannot respond. That offensive line really struggling to keep this pressure from the Hilltoppers back. And again, there's only 5 down linemen. That's a tough way to play against this Hilltopper defense when you spread everyone out.
It is loud here in Ravenna. The cowbells are clanging. Erickson has time. It's batted down, incomplete. Austin Ash got his hand up and rejected it. He said, no, you don't.
I was going to say, he didn't have much time. Alexander Ash busts through into the backfield and just slaps that pass down. I mean, there was no time for this Ursuline passing offense to operate with, and the Hilltoppers forced the turnover on downs, and now they could really make this interesting, Matt. If the Chardon offense can respond with a score here, they could really make things tough on Ursuline.
So Hilltoppers offense comes back out on the field, and the one thing, Ryan, that they could use right here is a big time-consuming drive.
Yes. Although you'll take a quick score if you get it.
Francis going to keep it himself, and Francis, it's close to the first down. Boy, we've seen it all night tonight. It's been just one guy around the ankles of the Hilltoppers, and in this instance, for the Irish, it was Luke Collar again. He has made some big plays tonight.
Yeah, Collar, that was a big play there as well, because if Will Francis gets to the second level, I think there was a lot of blue turf in front of him. But you still pick up 9 yards on that first down, and things are moving right now for Chardon. Chardon, since that interception, has had all the momentum in this game.
2nd down and 1. Francis again up the middle. Francis to the 40. And Francis now picking up some big yards. And you got to wonder, Ryan, are the Hilltoppers starting to wear down the D-line of Ursuline?
Well, they're not quite keeping their eye on Will Francis like they were doing in the first half. He fakes the handoff to A.J. Bruce, and you can see all those linebackers start to move to the right. Opens things up for A.J. Bruce. He's able to run through the middle. Or I should say for Will Francis, he's able to run up the middle, first down. And yeah, Ursuline does not quite have their contain on Will Francis that they had in the first half, and he is starting to run for some big yards.
From the Irish 38. Francis now from the gun. Will keep it himself and go up the middle again, and Will Francis wills his way to about the 30.
And we want to make sure we say it's not just him. He's got his offensive line out there again, throwing all kinds of big blocks down there, opening up big holes for him. The linemen are doing their job. Plenty of space for Will Francis to run through. But if I'm the Hilltoppers right now, I'm going to keep calling Will Francis's number until the Irish show they can stop him on this drive.
You know, I didn't mention this early on in the contest, but I probably should here. Folks, if you've been trying to adjust your colors of your computer screen, your TV, whatever, no, the field is actually blue. Don't do that.
I'm glad you let them know in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. My bad. And it's Caleb Hewitt who has the ball. Caleb picks up the first down as he bounces out toward the right side, and Caleb gets out of bounds near the 25.
Yeah, nice run there by Caleb Hewitt. He had his tight end, Zach Henningman, blocking in front of him. Hilltopper offense rolling here in multiple ways, including that game clock down to 7.5 minutes.
The Fighting Irish 24-yard line.
Well, Chardon understanding what is at stake here, a berth in the Final Four. Francis keeps it himself, and Francis that time bottled up after a pickup of about 2.
That time the Irish were able to get there, close up that hole. 4 down territory here for the Hilltoppers.
Second down and 8.
Into the wind, I would assume at least it's 4 down territory.
Now, too, I hate to say it, you look at it, field goal still makes it a 2-touchdown game.
Yeah, you would ideally like to get a touchdown here so you can make it a 3-score game and really spread this thing out.
Henneman split end on the right side. And Francis will hand it off. A.J. Bruce looking, makes a cut. A.J. across the 20, down near the 19-yard line. It will be 3rd down and about medium.
A.J. Bruce does a nice job to pick up some positive yardage there. He saw that nothing was going to open up on the edge, so he just took what was in front of him. It was about 3 yards, but he prevented a negative play, kept things moving forward. Good decision there by A.J. Bruce.
Well, Hilltoppers would love to move those chains on this play. Hewitt goes in motion, and it is Caleb with the call. Caleb makes a cut, and Caleb dives forward, and he gets the, hold on now.
Short. They've got him at the 15, needed the 14.
So it's decision time for Coach Hewitt. They need about a half yard.
I think they're going for it here.
Gain to the 15-yard line. It brings up 4th down and 1.
I don't see them doing anything else but going for it. They need to get this play in and break.
No, Will Francis actually went to the sideline to hear the play himself.
Play clock down to 10 here.
They were trying to get the Irish to jump, and they burn a timeout here with 5:18 left to go.
Well, GTV's on the internet. Our website has the following features: video on demand, see our shows on your schedule, live streaming, watch both channels anytime, GTV digital photos, over 150,000 digital pictures that you can download for free, GTV's weather station, and 2 live square cameras, one for Middlefield and, of course, the one in Chardon, all available now at geaugatv.org.
Well, Ryan, Hilltoppers will have a 4th down and 1. 4th down and really a half. They need to get about, let's say, 1.5 feet here. It's marked just shy of the first down markers, about the 19.5. We've seen them on these short 4th and 1s, giving it to the big man, Vinny Columbi.
Yeah, they've been very successful all throughout this playoff run here on these 4th and short situations. They have such a good running game. It lends itself to that.
Toppers will give it. No, it's Francis who keeps it himself, picks up the first down as he was hit hard, but he held on to it and he moved the chains.
You know, and that's just, everyone was thinking what you said. They call Vinny Columbi's number a lot. Fake the handoff. Columbi acts like he's running up the middle, but it's Will Francis coming to the outside. And Francis does enough to move the chains.
And C.J. Frasco came up from his defensive backstop to make the position. That was, Ryan, one of the harder hits we've seen from the Irish defense tonight. Clock churning, 4:50 and counting here. It's 1st and 10 Toppers from the 13. They can pick up a first down if they get to the 3. Toppers wisely looking at the play clock and watching it run down. It will be a give to Bruce. Makes a cut up the middle. Bruce toward the end zone. Touchdown, Toppers! How did he see that opening? But a good cut by A.J. Bruce.
We've been so lucky to see the development of A.J. Bruce as a football player over the past 4 years, Matt. And there's where you see his eye for the game coming into play. He's run to the outside. He looks upfield, sees the tiniest crease. He decides to go for it. He accelerates through, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. And your senior A.J. Bruce just made it a 3-score game with 4:25 left.
A huge score by the Hilltoppers. And now they look to tack on the PAT. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it is good. With 4:25 to play, Toppers extend their lead, 31-14.
Well, if the Toppers hold on to win, we hope to stream next week's playoff game, but several things need to fall our way in order to do so. Where we play will dictate the availability of press box space and a good internet connection in order to stream to you. Once we know who and where we play, we'll work to get things worked out for you. So stay tuned to GTV for more information. Still, Ursuline is a quick strike offense.
And indeed they are, Ryan. You look at this game, though, when you start to talk about the impact that the turnovers have had, and not just actual turning over the ball, but turnover on downs, too. When you add that all up, Chardon has come away with a lot of points, and that's the difference in this ballgame.
It is, and it starts with that defense. The defense gets the turnovers, but the offense has responded. Both times the defense forced a turnover, and the turnover on downs, Chardon's come down the field and scored a touchdown. That's been key. So defense and offense, they're playing complementary football tonight, and they've got a big lead with 4:25 left to go.
This Ursuline team has piled up, entering tonight's game, about 5,100 yards of total offense on the season. They average, again, entering tonight's game, just shy of 400 yards per game. While they've certainly put some yardage on, it's been a matter of keeping them off the scoreboard. Short kick and liaison knocked out of bounds shy of the 30. And right now the defense essentially needs to make one more stop here.
Yeah, that's correct. You go out there, you get a stop, you get the ball back, and Ursuline will be in all kinds of trouble. Right now, Ursuline operating with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. But on that last drive, the Hilltoppers really dialed up the pressure, and the offensive line for Ursuline just could not hold anymore, and there was no protection to get the passing game going.
1st and 10, Ursuline from their own 28-yard line.
Chardon playing in their 5th consecutive regional final, looking to make it to the state final for the 3rd time in 4 years. Erickson over the middle. It is caught at the 35, 40, and Farrell 45 making a move, midfield 50, on his feet 45, still going 40, and Farrell out of bounds inside the 40-yard line.
Well, that's why, it's hard to say this game is over yet. That big play potential for Ursuline. That was just a quick slant, and Farrell runs for like 30 yards after the catch, flips the field.
Yeah, they just couldn't bring him down.
Nope.
They had opportunities. Erickson looking to throw left side and has a man over the middle. It is going to be a completion, and it was DC Farrell again.
Yeah, Farrell, that's been the connection that's worked tonight. Farrell runs another good route, gets underneath the deep zone, makes the catch, moves the chains.
This has only been a 25-second drive so far. Erickson looking toward the right corner of the end zone and throws it away. I shouldn't say throws it away, but overthrew his target. Was looking for Davis Jr.
Yeah, just got a little bit rushed on the throw, let it go a little too far. That'll slow things down for a moment. It stops the clock, but gives the Hilltopper defense a chance to reset here as Ursuline, when they get those big plays and they're moving no huddle, they can really cause the defense to get a little bit out of whack there. So chance for the Chardon defense here to reset on 2nd down and 10.
Jack Erickson looking and a throw toward the end zone, and too much on that one.
Well, and again, he has to let it go under duress. He's hit as he throws. Not a whole lot of help there from his offensive line. Still really struggling, and Logan Bryant got back there, put a big hit on him right after the throw, and the ball is overthrown, so it's 3rd down and 10.
Jack Erickson, a quick throw near side, and it hits A.J. Bruce. Both players looking at the officials, wanting flags on each other, and the official's like, nah.
Yeah, that ball just hits A.J. Bruce in the back. And that's the thing. I think if both players are asking for it, I think that's a good no-throw there by the official. He's letting the guys play. They're battling for position down there. It's a really good receiver against a really good corner. I think that's probably a good no-throw by the official.
It is 4th and 10. And the Hilltoppers will burn a timeout here, sensing that this could be the game on the line.
Oh, this is Chardon's final timeout, so it's the last time they can stop the clock in this 4th quarter. Well, GTV is on Roku and Apple TV. You can also get it on your cell phone. That's right, iPhone or Android. All you have to do is look for the Cablecast app in your store, and you'll have GTV on your phone. Also, don't forget you can follow GTV on Twitter for all the latest replay news and other important information. So follow GTV on Twitter, now known as X, and you'll have all the latest.
X.
But it's twitter.com.
I don't want to know what X.com is. Just saying. Ryan, defense right now, mulling things over, but Coach Landes, you have to give him a big tip of the top hat if you're wearing one, or as most fans are here tonight, the old winter cap, because he has done just a marvelous job in terms of dialing up the plays that have been disruptive, that have allowed his players to excel in this contest.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have a chance here on 4th down, this defense, to put the rest of this game away. Ursuline can still stop the clock 3 times.
Erickson has some time, being flushed. He's hit and he's dropped. The Hilltoppers will get the ball back. Kisley was in on it, as was Ash.
He had a chance for one quick scan, and that was it. And just that outside of that pocket was collapsing. Pressure coming from both sides, and Kisley and Ash do a great job to close that pocket in on him, and he goes down, and it's another turnover on downs and a chance for Chardon to seal the game. Ursuline can still stop the clock 3 times, and I expect them to do that.
3:39 to go, and now the running game of the Hilltoppers, which is built to take time off the clock, is on the field.
And it's done that tonight.
Hand off to Bruce, and Bruce looking for something, and he will just fall backwards. Not a bad decision by AJ.
No, it'll force. They do call their timeout here, yeah, but we haven't really talked about that being another key to this game is this Chardon offense. I mean, they had a drive of about 5.5 minutes in the first half. We saw them go about 5.5 minutes on the first drive of this second half. You know, you keep that big play offense of Ursuline off the field with that run game. That's a big part of this all here as well. And yeah, it's just been a really good performance. We talked about the Hilltoppers all playoffs. It feels like they're peaking at the right time, and every week you're looking out there, and it's, once again, they're putting up what you think might be their best performance of the season this week, as it just seems like they keep getting better every single week at the right time to be doing it. It's quite a run.
Well, for the Hilltoppers, a date with Goliath appears to be waiting next week, as while there's still some time left in that game, it is all but over. 41-6, Toledo Central Catholic over Tiffin Columbian late in the 4th quarter in that contest. Francis going to move straight ahead and picks up a couple yards, and Coach Reardon calling timeout number 2. But Ryan, you look at how these scenarios are going to be playing out now. Chardon will run the ball again. You think that Ursuline will likely call a timeout. Chardon will be forced to punt. Even if Ursuline does score, they got to kick it off. If Chardon recovers the ball at that point in time, Ursuline will have no timeouts left.
Yeah, so the game will get really short on Ursuline here. But again, the one difference between Ursuline and a lot of the other opponents that the Hilltoppers have faced this year, they can get the ball and go down the field and score in 40 or 45 seconds. But unfortunately for Ursuline, fortunately for the Hilltoppers, hasn't happened because they cannot stop the defensive front for Chardon. But you got to take it one step at a time. It would be great if the Hilltoppers could pick up a first down here and make it all moot.
It'll be Will Francis keeping it, and Francis just going straight ahead, picks up another yard, and that's 4th down, and that is now the Irish's final timeout.
Well, Ursuline has officially saved as much time as they can. They have 3 minutes and 19 seconds left to effect a 17-point comeback here.
While we do have a minute here, do want to send out a very blessed Thanksgiving to all you folks listening in on this game. We are very blessed to be covering the Hilltoppers football program over the years, and we've seen some just unbelievable players come up through this system over the years, and it's been our honor and privilege to bring you these games week in and week out. And while we won't have Thanksgiving practice, I'll be thinking about the football team as I'm getting the turkey ready to be put in the oven, as I'm doing everything else. It's my holiday at home.
There you go.
I absolutely love it. Football and food, you can't beat it. Topper's going to punt.
Now the play was blown dead.
Yep. Not sure.
There's not a flag.
Were the officials just not set, maybe?
That I think could have been it. That was a pretty good punt into the wind, too. That's one Chardon will want back.
Yep.
Game clock started early.
Galanek, that's not that great of a punt, but it actually is. It's going to take a topper roll and go sideways. And
again, tough punting in that direction tonight, but Galanek gets off about as good a punt as I think you could ask someone to get off.
yeah, Beckett Dotson.
There's a flag back at the 20-yard line around where the punt happened. Roughing the punter. Personal foul, 15-yard penalty. That'll be automatic first down, Chardon. No timeouts left for Ursuline. That's a huge call in this game.
Indeed it is, and what that means, folks, is the Hilltoppers a couple of first downs, and this one is over.
Yep.
All season long, the concern has been the Hilltoppers making penalties, the Hilltoppers committing penalties. We saw it a few times tonight where it hurt their chances to complete drives. But right there, potentially one of the bigger penalties of the games, and it's on the other team.
Yeah, that is a huge penalty. Chardon will have first down, and it's becoming all but moot at this point in time with 3:10 left on the game clock. Man, Matt, 3-3 feels like ages ago, doesn't it? This team has just taken off.
And it's amazing how they had a little bit of time playing in the Western Reserve Conference schedule to regroup. That time, it's a give to Caleb Hewitt. Hewitt staying inside, bounces outside a little bit, but goes ahead for some yardage. But it's amazing playing a couple of the lesser teams in the Western Reserve Conference. Hilltoppers able to work on some things after that brutal front half loaded schedule. And you have, I think you've said it throughout the last few weeks, they're peaking at the right time.
Well, and look, they did have a chance to kind of work on some things and get themselves ready to go for when they got to Week 10 in Riverside and then the playoffs. But really, you go back to the front half of that schedule, they're drawing off of that. When they're facing adversity in these games, they can go back to the Waterson game, the Tiffin game, the Kenston game where you lost, and you could draw on things from those losses.
Toppers will run the ball left side, but a flag comes out. That'll stop the clock with 2:23 to go. Let's wait for the call from the officials. So holding against the Hilltoppers, that will back them up. Actually, it will not back them up because the Irish
as much clock as they can. They don't want to have to get another down.
Thing is, now it's 3rd and 2 Hilltoppers. First one, no matter what, you're kind of stuck.
I think where they are in the game, I think this is the right risk calculation. You don't want Chardon to get an extra down here. You want to hope you can get a stop.
No, Toppers, if they get this first down here, then you can start talking about taking a knee. It's Will Francis ahead, and Francis to about the 40.
That's enough.
And that will likely do it here. Folks, we do invite you to stick around following this one because we will have the presentation of the regional championship trophy. It'll be the, again, 3rd time in the last 4 years the Hilltoppers will be hosting it, or hoisting it.
And I just go back to where we were pregame. Hopefully everyone, it takes a second to appreciate how special this run the past few years has been. This kind of stuff doesn't just happen. There's a lot of hard work by the players, the coaches, everyone involved to be in this point year after year, and it's just an incredible run for the Hilltoppers.
Francis takes a knee there, and I'm going to have to admit, Ryan, driving in here, I had those game day jitters thinking about how this one was going to play out. Man, it's part of the fun of covering this program.
Yeah, and again, it's what we talked about today. It was great complementary football. The defense got turnovers. The offense turned around, turned those turnovers into touchdowns, and took care of the game. Sealed the deal.
Now the Hilltoppers are 2 kneels away from advancing to playing Toledo Central Catholic for a berth in the state championship game.
That is going to be quite a matchup next week.
Not sure where it's going to be held, but we're going to have a little bit of driving to do.
Most likely the case, yes. That'll be interesting, right? Where is that game end up?
Well, Francis with his team around him in victory formation. And the Hilltoppers are the champions of Division III Region 9. With that, folks, we will pause and step aside here on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, Burr Funeral Home, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, The Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, PRP and Associates, Roniak Paving, Sopchak Natural Health and Wellness Center, and Fit for Life Physical Therapy, TJ Smith Excavating, Remax Tradition, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, Residence Artists, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, and the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Special thanks for supporting the Gridiron Club goes to the Lodge at Bass Lake, We Were Athletes, Chardon Home Depot. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
Welcome back, everyone, to Ravenna. It's Gilchrist Field at Portage Community Bank Stadium, where the Hilltoppers winners tonight by a 31-14 count. As you saw the trophy presentation, as they are the Division III Region 9 regional champions.
Yeah, as we talked about, great complementary football, a fumble and interception for the defense, a couple of stops on downs. Offense responded with scores, and the Hilltoppers, for the third time in 4 years, regional champions. What an incredible run. Something that, as you said during the broadcast, very appreciative to be been here to see it and been a part of.
Well, for this Hilltopper team, you got to give credit to the defensive effort they did tonight. Down Austin Lazinski, well, yes, they did miss him. They did, in a sense, because of how they played and the pressure that they got on the QB.
Yeah, you're always going to miss a guy like Austin Lazinski, but it's next man up. And this is a program. Chardon is a program, and there's always someone who's next and ready to go, and they're able to come in and make the plays when they need them.
On the other side of the field, the Hilltoppers offense, some great blocking by the O-line, some great playmaking ability by the Hilltoppers playmakers, and they were able to take the turnovers, on downs and turn them into points.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was the key, playing that complementary football. The defense gets that stop, the offense comes out, builds the momentum off of it, you can run away with the game, and that's what the Hilltoppers did.
Hey, listen to me at one point, listen to me. You were 3-3. 3-3 left for dead, and you just punched a ticket to the Final Four in what I believe is the hardest region in the state of Ohio. Well done, fellas. You stacked up the number 1 seed in the region, too.
Hey, I got 2 things. Thanksgiving Day practice. One more point. I got 3 things. You guys are all heart and guts. Defense, that's what it took tonight. It wasn't a dry erase marker. It was heart and guts. Great job. Scout team, great job. Scout all week getting us prepared.
Scout.
And I got one more thing. How about that Hilltopper defense? Yeah, I agree with Coach Land. He's having an incredible defensive performance. We're missing Steve, we're missing Mario. And you guys just stepped up and did the job. I mean, that's a high-powered offense. Keep those guys limited to 14 points and let us get out there and run the football and do our thing. That's a great job. That's a great win, and it's up there and near the top of my all-time great Hilltopper games.
Oh, yeah, Chardon.
We haven't peaked yet. We haven't peaked yet.
Hey, listen, I'm not trying to get ahead of ourselves, but you're going to be doubted this year on a level you've never been down. The Hilltoppers will be doubted. I'm telling you, we do what we do in absolute preparation. We will shock the state of Ohio. And every public school in the state is going to be rooting for us.
Well, folks, we invite you to join us next week as we will have the state semifinals here on GTV. Yours truly, Ryan Radke, will have the call as Chardon will be taking on Toledo Central Catholic, the Goliath, if you will, here in Division III, as they were, again, the Division II champions last year, and they ended up being bumped down with everything that went on, and now they're playing here in D3. Going to be an interesting contest.
Yep, it'll be a fun one, that's for sure.
Want to send a thank you out to our camera guy Spencer, also David, our director tonight, and executive producer Dave Jevnikar as well, and my partner Ryan Radke. Hilltoppers again winners tonight, 31-14 as they advance to the state semifinals for the third time in the last 4 years. I'm Matt Jaworski. On behalf of all the rest, we wish you all the best and a very happy Thanksgiving.